hand of God concept doesn't necessarily mean that I see the hand of God and I keep quiet. When we are inspired to stand up for someone, to do our duty to protect someone, well, that's also a responsibility of a yogi. God wants to see what steps we are ready to take to extend ourselves emotionally, physically, spiritually, devotionally for the protection and the well-being of others. So when we know someone is being ill-treated, just to sit there and not say anything is not the wise thing to do. If we are not part of the solution, we are part of the problem. It's very simple. If you're not part of the solution, we are part of the problem. So whether it's taking help of the government, the cops, calling in the cops in times of emergency, or just standing up for that person and talking down to the person who's the culprit. You know, you see, the Bhagavad Gita is the greatest wisdom text of the East, talking about bhakti yoga. And there it starts off with Arjuna, the devotee of Krishna. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. And it's so fascinating that Arjuna, he doesn't want to fight the war. He doesn't want to fight the battle against those, just like as you put it so beautifully, those who are aggressors, those who are tormentors. And Arjuna was saying, well, let me just forgive them. I will leave them. I will go into the forest and meditate. Krishna said, no, that's not what a yogi does. A yogi has to stand up and fight the tormentors to protect the innocent. So the hand of God in that circumstance is to see how matured and responsible we have become in our heart to take responsibility of others in our life. It's not simply sitting in a cave and closing our eyes and not speaking for 12 years. Get on social media, speak as loud as you can to protect others. That's how you're being a compassionate instrument of God's love in society. We are, whether we agree or not, we are all part of society, right? We are all part of the society. We are what the society is. We make this society, each one of us. So if we want to make the world a better place, charity begins at home. So whatever is wonderful in our life, we want to thank God. Whatever happens negative to us, to the best that we tolerate, that's fine. But when it gets sexually involving, whether it gets physically abusing, there's an upper limit to put your foot down and say no. Tolerance doesn't mean you go and embrace a cactus plant and bleed to death. Well, I'm just going to tolerate the thorns of a cactus. No, there are three approaches. One, there are people who think, well, let's just go and embrace a cactus. You don't have to do that, which means don't put yourself in circumstances where you think it brings out the bad in you, the worst in you. The second approach is, well, I will not go to such circumstances, but if those circumstances come to me, I will tolerate. That's another approach. But the approach that I'm talking about is the third approach. Be so focused in your spiritual meditation and your surrender to God that what is right, according to the wisdom text, is right. And what is wrong and what is socially, physically, emotionally unacceptable is unacceptable. If you don't have anything to stand for, we will have everything in this world to fall for. It's very simple. If you don't have anything to stand for, you have everything around to fall for. So a yogi is he who has a spine, which means spine talk. When I refer to spine, it means the fundamental tenets, the truths, the teachings that we're ready to stand up for, to protect oneself and to protect others. And that is not breaking a yogic principle. You are ready to tolerate on a personal front, but when it happens in others' life, you can't see the distress in their life, and you're ready to express your compassion in this manner. Different strokes for different folks.